people that don't typically see bears from time to time, and that would be Bulloch County citizens. We just don't see bears. Yes, there has been people that have called. They see them, it scares them, and we just try to assure them. We do have a humane enforcement division that can go out and give them some bear safety tips and just talk to the public. So we have seen some cases where people were alarmed by seeing them.
That's right. We have new friends in the area here in Bulloch County. They're hard to spot, but every once in a while they make their presence known.
I think any reason is as to why the bears are showing up here, and it could be that they're just not threatened as much in the wild, much like the turkey population. It was almost decimated back a couple of decades ago, and then they became protected and they repopulated, and now we have a extremely active turkey hunting season here because they are so populated. If you ride the fields now, you see, typically in the springtime, you'll see groups of turkeys in the back of it, and I remember as a young man growing up here that was not the case back in the 70s and in the late 60s. So I think any reason could be plausible as to why they're here, whether it be too much water, too little water in certain areas, fire in a certain area. But for whatever reason, their population is probably growing too. We did have a sighting on I-16 that one of our officers went out and checked, and he was able to determine that it was a bear by the footprint. That the bear, and possibly even we think there was a smaller bear with this one, left at the fenced area on I-16 at mile marker 130. So I would think if you see a paw print there, then you might want to reevaluate what you're doing with your trash. Maybe take some different steps with your small household animals, cats and dogs outside, and that sort of thing. But and like I said, call us and we'll be glad to come investigate for you.
According to author and researcher Stephen Herrero, black bear attacks are fairly rare, with reportedly only 23 people killed by the animal in an 80-year time span, much lower than even dog attack fatalities, which average about the same number, but per year. But that doesn't make these bears good for pets, even though the black bear is the bear that Winnie the Pooh was modeled after.
A grizzly bear is very aggressive, and you're taught to lay down, cover your head, remain still. But black bears, they respond real well to somebody yelling at them or waving their hands, and they're typically going to be frightened and go the other way. However, if you're in close proximity and they feel trapped, then the scenario changes. But everything that I've been able to read and study is that if you'll show a black bear aggression, generally they're going to leave the area.
And now that we know they are probably here amongst us, what do we do now?
Trash cans with a lot of refuge in it, food and stuff like that's not sealed good, is going to emanate an odor, and the bear may come to that odor. I would just tell folks that particularly live out in the rural areas to keep their trash covered and enclosed, and perhaps they won't create any problems. But we haven't had any reports of small farm animals being killed by possibly a bear. Usually when we get those reports, they're usually by stray dogs or something like that. But so far we've not had any real problems other than the alarm of people seeing it for the first time in Bulloch County.
And what about other animals hiding in the woods, just waiting to make themselves known to us? Are there any other animal surprises out there?
Well, I saw a picture of a black panther outside of Register, Georgia. And this was a large black cat, and the picture was grainy, but it looked pretty real to me. And the person that took that picture seemed pretty credible. And I did a little web search on that, and I think that there is a possibility that we do have some large what they call black panthers here in the county. And I haven't seen one. I can only tell you that I've heard from a couple of people that have seen one and have seen a grainy picture of one near Register, Georgia. But other than that and the black bear, that's about it. Everything else we see quite regular. Deer, rattlesnakes, alligators, and stuff like that. We have our fair share of that population.
But as far as the bears go, even though we can't be sure if they've made the burrow their permanent home yet, we do know that they have at least been passing through for a while. Just a few years ago, a Georgia Southern student hit and fatally injured a black bear while driving on Harville Road near the Planters Row subdivision right outside the Statesboro city limits.
As lush as the woods are right now from the rain we've had, I would think there's a lot of foliage out there and a lot of wild berries that these bears are feeding on right now. And so, yeah, I would think that that's a possibility that they could get comfortable here and become more numbered.
Reporting for GSN 99, I'm Bianca Meredith.